welcome all my cultivational cohorts. I wanted to discuss something that I've been doing for 4 years, about maybe five now, and that's using wood-loving mushrooms um, for a larger percentage of things that I'm doing in my garden specifically. And I'll flip you guys around and I'll show you what I'm talking about, and show you that essentially I'm doing deep bed mulch beds with the addition of wood-loving mushroom species, and I'm able to get wonderful results, not put any fertilizer back in here, and I don't want to say no watering, but very little watering. I'm seeing more stuff online of individuals doing different versions of this. And essentially what you do is you dig down, a couple of feet. You put waste logs or some sort of, waste wood material in the bottom. I wouldn't use dyed, mulch by any means. And then putting the dirt back on that, planting what you need, and then putting another layer of mulch on top, which I inoculate the entire thing with wood-loving species. That helps break down the wood chips and essentially feed the plants that you're trying to grow things on in your garden. I wouldn't use wine caps specifically. Again, if I were to use wine caps, there would be so many wine caps in the beds that I think it would be a little bit overwhelming. So choose your wood-loving species wisely. Praecox, I think it's an underappreciated wood-loving species, especially the wood ones. And I don't think they taste that bad, although the ones that grow specifically on the lawn tend to taste like grass clippings. The ones that grow off, big, large, mounds of wood chips, seem to taste quite good. I put them in soups and, various other dishes. I think it's a wonderful mushroom. So let me turn you guys around and show you what the mycelium looks like in the actual bed. And hopefully I'm not shining this right at the sunshine every once in a while, but these are my blueberry plants. This is very little, like I said, almost no watering at all. There is no drip line in here. I'm not putting fertilizer back in here in any amounts. I basically, this is doing nothing and getting amazing results, essentially. But down here, if you just start pulling back just a little bit, you can see all of the mycelium down in here. And it just gets thicker, and it's wet and moist and wonderful down in here. It's just amazing, and it just turns it into nutrients that then the other plants that you're planting in these beds essentially can utilize. I think it's a wonderful process. This is essentially what happens in, nature in the first place. We just choose to think we know better a lot of times when we go into doing these kinds of things, and that there's some secret method, or mining phosphorus and nitrogen and different things, is the way to go. Well, you don't have to, and you can get really nice, amazing results. I'm sure you guys can see that in there. And like I said, Praecox is one of the ones that I use for doing this. I've done this for my blueberries, I've done this for strawberries, I've done this for potatoes, and various other, things as well. I'm not saying it's going to work 100% across the board for every plant or every person's, situation. But you know, sometimes you just need to mess around and see what works and what doesn't. This is amazing for me because I literally have to only put a layer of wood chips over here, you know, after fall, you know, going into winter, and that's all the work that I have to do. And of course, there's no weeds to be pulled, right? And if there is, they come out almost, you know, with no effort at all. So again, I don't have to till, I don't have to do anything to essentially maintain this bed, but put another layer of wood chips on at the end of the season. So that's what I have for highlighting Praecox. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I'll see you down the trail someday.